This video is how to use the different functions and features associated with the action button under the track on the tracked learning caseload page. So if you click on the button, you'll notice there's class password, format caseload, quick assessment, open assessment. In the future will also be diagnostic, replicate target skill or skills, share students, print student data, and delete a student or students if you need to, if they move off of your caseload and whatnot. So class password, unlike the previous assessment password could be the individual student's password for logging in to take an assessment. But like I shared in a different video, there's also a class password, which you can set one password for the entire class to all have the same login information besides their student ID. So it's one less thing to have to think about or have access to. Just set the password once, all kids then use the same password. Format caseload is where you can choose from these different categories which is not on your caseload page here. So by simply just clicking what you do or don't want, hit submit changes, you'll notice it automatically changes for you. Quick assessment, open assessment are going to be in a separate video, and that is kind of the differences between them, how to create them, and for how students to access and take an assessment. But just for a quick reference, a quick assessment is maybe like a pre or post assessment or an exit ticket. It is if you have a group of kids, maybe not on IEP, maybe they are, and you want to assess them on specific skills, you can create an individualized assessment for one or a group of kids, give them the quick assessment, even though those skills are not directly already assigned to that kid on their individual learning profile. You can still assess and see what their knowledge and skill base is. Open assessment is going to be the place where you can assign an entire, those are the assessments for the goals specifically. So you'll see the kids pop up, you click on their names, and you can click the goals that you want to assess. And these are the goals specifically individualized and selected for that kid. So these three goals are Donald's IEP goals. You can click to hide it. You go to the next kid. Okay, well, maybe you don't want to assess those two goals. And you just go through, you give the assessment a name, you hit create, and in a fraction of a second, an assessment for each kid based on their skills, based on the number of questions you want for each skill, will be created and given to them. So when they log in, they're going to have a completely auto-generated, randomized, individualized assessment for them specifically in their IEP goals. So this is the one. An open assessment is the one for IEP goals. A quick assessment can be for any target skill that you want to assess, and everyone that you can choose, you'll notice that it auto-populates 5 questions. You can change. Maybe you only want 3 of each. So you just have a 9-question assessment. It's going to these kids, you name it, you generate the assessment. Same thing. It's going to quickly make it for them. And there's a table that the program is going to populate for you so that you can see highs, lows, averages of the group, and really get a good idea of where one or a group of kids are so that you can design further instruction for them. Following that is replicate target skills. Say you have a lot of kids that have the same goals, and what you can do is, say you've already inputted the kids, you've given one kid a goal, but the other 4 here also have an identify lowercase letter goal. Well, you can pick who you want from, and let's use a better example. And you can see I can replicate these objectives. So when I hit replicate goals, every single one of these will automatically be added to each one of these kids' profiles. And then I can go in there and change the baseline, end goal, how I'm going to assess them. But at least I can start collecting data on Donald, Chip, Axel, Ryan on these goals. We do have an offer, a very quick and easy way of drop-down menus, math, or in this case, spell CV and sight words, writing, CV, spelling, boom, spell CV and sight words. A quick way to access those and add those to each specific kid. But If you're like a lot of other special ed teachers, you use a common set of goals and you just individualize it for those kids. So the basis of those goals will be on those kids. You can go in later, figure out the specifics, but at least you can start collecting data now. So that is replicate. You can also share students. The only thing you can do is share these students amongst someone who has a subscription and is using tracked learning. We do not store those emails. So you would have to know the person's account specifically. You would hit share students. And then that would, you could even add more user emails. When they next log in to tracked learning, it's going to ask them if they accept the kids. So if you share kids within a school, you can all be taking data and adding information to that student's individual learning profile. Or in another case, say my kids this year are going to middle school next year, I can take every piece of data and information, anything I've collected on, say, Donald, Chip, Axel, Ryan, share it with the middle school teacher. And then when she accepts those kids, I can delete them off of my caseload, clearing up my caseload so I can just focus on the kids that I have this year. And now she has everything that I've ever taken on a kid. No more looking for sticky notes, pieces of work, just any sort of IEP paperwork, anything, nothing. It's all stored on here for you. So it's literally, you click a couple kids, you share, everything's done for you, just helping save some time. We can print student data. So any of these categories you can choose to add. Say you want to share maybe the IEP goals with the gen ed teachers at the beginning of the year, you can just print off, say, first, last name, and goals, and it'll print off. You can give it to the gen ed teachers. You could add or take away any information, or any part of the IEP team can get this information if you so need it. I also print this for giving to teachers when they are helping me log kids in to do the assessments, because there's a place for the URL where they go, they're logging information. It makes it nice, quick, and easy to get those progress reports done. Finally, just as easy, you can delete the kids. Boom. We make it a two-step process so you can't accidentally delete them. You would have to click it one more time. But otherwise, those are all the different features that we have on the action button on the caseload page. And thank you for watching, and make sure to access our other how-to videos if you need them, so that you can get the full potential out of the tracked learning program, and to benefit you and to benefit your students. And again, if there's still no more, or you need to offer any other sort of feedback or advice, please reach out to us at info@trackedlearning.com if anything else is needed. Thank you.